Good morning, and I'm glad you're here today. Welcome back to the final day of our challenge on raising confident kids. If you've been with us the past 3 days, we've talked about the ways that can happen for your family. So we started day 1 with all about you, and then we moved on to day 2, and we talked about how it looked like to have a confident child, what that means. And then today we're going to put all that in place and give you some specific techniques of how to make that work. All right, and a little bit about me. My name is Anastasia Arauz. I am a child and family therapist, also a family life coach, working with families to help them be healthier. And so I'm really, really happy you've made it all the way to day 3. That shows me that you are really interested in having a healthy family and making sure your kids are as confident as they can be. So with the other 2 days, I started with some grounding activities. And so I wanted to finish up today with another technique that you can use at home on your own. And so let's go ahead and get started. So the one we're going to do today is the 5 senses. I'm not sure if you've ever done that one before, but I'm going to go through it with you. And then again, it's also something you can look up online. Many people do this. You can watch it on YouTube. Lots of different examples and ways that you can do this 5 senses activity. So basically what we're going to do is to ground ourselves and help us focus on the present. We're going to focus on the 5 senses, which are the sight, touch, sight, touch, hearing, taste, and smell. And so let's go ahead and get started. To start with, what you need to do is go ahead and put your feet on the ground like we have the past couple of days. So uncross your legs, sit in a chair, sit up tall, just take a deep breath in. And let's just get ready for this next 20 minutes of us being together, 20 to 25 minutes. And we're going to do this 5. It's going to be called the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 grounding exercise. All right. Let's take one more deep breath. Maybe move your neck around. Just kind of relax, get ready for the moment. All right. So what this does is this technique will take you through the 5 senses to help remind you of the present moment. This is a calming technique that can help you get through tough or stressful situations. So here again, if you practice these things in non-stressful situations, it's much easier to implement and much more normal for your nervous system if you've done it in the past. It's really hard to start these activities when you're in the midst of something super, super overwhelming, like a car accident or a death, or you're on a plane and you're feeling anxiety. You really need to practice these and get used to them and have them be part of who you are for them to really, really take effect and work to their maximum. All right. So the first thing we're going to do is go ahead and the first sense we're going to do is looking. And so this is the 5. So I want you to look around for 5 things that you can see and say them out loud. Okay. So I'm going to give you a minute to do that. So look around wherever you're at. If you're in your house or you're out driving, just look around and see, are you seeing a sign? Do you see cars driving? What are the 5 things that you see? Okay. All right, the next thing is feel. This is number 4. Okay, pay attention to your body and think of 4 things that you can feel and say them out loud. So for example, you could say you feel your shoes on your feet, or you feel your ponytail holder if you have your hair in a ponytail, or you feel a drink if you're drinking your coffee. So what are 4 things that you can feel? And I'm going to let you go ahead and do that. Don't forget to breathe while you're doing it. Okay. All right. So the next one is listening. I want you to listen for 3 seconds. So wait till I'm done talking. It could be the sound of traffic. It could be the sound of the computer. It could be the sound of my voice. I want you to say the 3 things out loud that you are hearing right now. So you can listen for the farthest thing away, the closest thing away. Okay. The next thing is number 2. So we're going to say 2 things that we can smell. I want you to be in your present moment. And what are you smelling? It could be the perfume on your clothes. It could be your coffee. It could be laundry. What are 2 things that you can smell? And then finally, taste. That's number 1. So you're doing 1. So say one thing you can taste. So I just brushed my teeth a few minutes ago, so I can taste the toothpaste a little bit. Or maybe you had lunch and you can still taste your sandwich, or whatever it is that you are drinking coffee. What can you taste right now? Okay. So now take one more deep breath. All right. So we're all here. So hopefully you are here with me. You're in the present moment. You're feeling calm. You have another activity to practice as you move through your day and through your week. I'm really, really happy to have shared that with you. All right. So let's go ahead. All right. So today we're really going to focus on what specific things you can do to build confidence in your child. Now, here again, this is something you can look up and find on Google. You can find it in books, whatever. But these are my favorite confidence builders for children. And these are the ones that I practice regularly to try to help build confidence in my child. I use these with kids in my practice when I'm doing my therapy with them. So, I'm going to go ahead and get started. So the first one will be model the confidence yourself with, which is what we talked about day 1, right? So you have to model it. You have to be confident in what you're doing in your decision making with your friends, with your spouse. So the first one is to model the confidence. The next thing you can do that I think is a great one is encourage kids to try new things. Sometimes I know growing up, my mom used to tell us how she was really, really scared of the water, right? And so I mean, I didn't really learn that until I was like in high school, but she was scared to death of water and swimming and being in a pool or being in the ocean. And we grew up in Florida, so we were around water all the time. And so one of the things that she really did for both my sister and I was encourage us to swim. And so my grandparents had a pool, and we had no idea she was scared of this till I was like in my teens. So I'm not scared of water now, right? I don't have that fear. So that was one way that she really helped me be confident in that aspect of my life, is, and she encouraged us to try to swim and to enjoy swimming, and she didn't allow her fear to hold us back. The next thing you can do is allow your kids to fail. This is a really, really hard one, but you cannot expect them to win all of the time. They have to be able to fail so they can experience it. An example of this is we were at soccer, and the coach had a parent meeting, and he was talking to us all. And one of the things I notice about the parents during soccer is they are very competitive, just like the kids. And they get really upset when a child makes a mistake or doesn't make the goal or passes the wrong way. And so what the coach said is, we're going to put the worst child as goalie. We're going to put the kid that struggles the most with being a goalie, because they're going to see what it feels like when they don't get the ball, when they fail and they miss it. And that is going to allow them to practice and practice and practice to where then they do get it and they do catch the ball and they do allow it to not go in the net. So allowing kids to fail teaches them so much. Another really great one is perseverance. This is one of my favorite ones. Praise it. Anytime you see your kids like really, really trying, working, make sure you give them so much feedback for that. Like, I'm really proud of you. You should really be proud of yourself for what you did. You really stuck with it. So giving them your feedback about their perseverance. Help them find their passion. So one of those things would be to allow them to try all these different things. What is their passion? And don't let it be your passion. What is theirs? So for example, maybe your child did soccer from the time they were little till maybe 9 or 10, and they're starting to realize maybe it's not their thing, but you still really love soccer. And you're like, I don't want them to quit because I enjoy the parents. I enjoy the socializing. I enjoy the going to the games. But if it's not their passion, then they need to find something else. So don't get stuck in your feelings about what they want to do. Around the age of 9, 10, probably through middle school is whenever you're going to see a shift in things that they like. So they could have liked dance as a kid when they were really little, but now they've shifted out of that and they want to find something new. So let them do that. Let them find something new. Help them set goals for themselves. That's another great one. You could do family goals. You can do your goals that you have and let them see you do that. So here again, it's modeling and showing them how goal setting gets things accomplished. Celebrate effort, which goes back to the perseverance, and then ban harsh criticism. And the reason I say ban harsh criticism is because really it's not effective for anyone, even ourselves as adults. So you can be critical and you can give feedback, but being rude, disrespectful, mean is not going to help anybody. It's not going to help your kids. It's not going to help you. So avoiding that. Focus on their strengths. So really focusing on what you see that they do well and giving them the praise that they need for that. Let them help you. This is a great one. And I learned this one. My child went to Montessori pretty up till last year when he was in 3rd grade. And one of the big things about Montessori is everybody works together and everybody helps. And I remember when he was in primary, which was the very first year, he was 3, and they do pouring lessons, right? And so a pouring lesson is basically learning how to pour, right? And so they had glass in their classroom. So he would actually, as a 3-year-old, have a glass pitcher, and he'd be pouring into the glasses. And so they're going to spill it, they're going to drop it, it might break, but that's all about letting them fail again. Here we go. So when he would come home, he would want to pour our drinks. Now, for me, that was really difficult because I don't want mess everywhere, but I would let him help us. I would let him pour the drinks. I would let him spill water on the floor. I had my boundary set of he wouldn't pour juice or soda. It would be water, but I would let him help, and I would make sure he understood that we all needed water. So why don't you go ahead and pour the water and I'll pour this other one. But thank you so much for helping. That was a really great way to help us, our family. And then make sure you're setting clear boundaries. When you set clear boundaries, your kids know where you stand, which shows confidence. So making sure that you are setting boundaries that they know and that you don't waver for them. Really, really important. So those are my favorite. All right, let me move on. Okay, so what if you're doing all those things and you're like, Anastasia, I'm doing all that, but it's still not enough. And my kid is really struggling. They struggle with anxiety. They struggle with they feel like people don't like them. They struggle with not feeling great about themselves. And that could be very, very true. So you're going to need to find support. You're going to need to reach out and get extra help, right? So that could be a school counselor. That could be friends. That could be your parents. That could be a therapist. It could be the pediatrician. So you want to reach out, ask for help, find something, because maybe it's not enough what you're doing and you need support. Remember that saying, what is it? It takes a village, which I believe wholeheartedly. I use a village to help raise our son. Definitely, I use a village. I use friends, family. I ask for support. I consult with colleagues. I talk to the doctor. So you don't have to do it all by yourself. And then maybe you could change something at home. So maybe you're really thinking after you listen to these past 3 days and you're like, yeah, this isn't enough. I'm doing all this. So what else can I do? So sitting, reflecting, journaling, what are things that you can do at home to really work on this with your kids to help them feel the best that they can feel? And you too, you need to feel the best because that's going to reflect onto them. All right, so I want to share some more resources with you today. The first one I wanted to tell you about is called the Child Mind Institute. It is a website. It is one of my favorite websites that is out there if you're looking for information about your kids. They have great, really short, easy articles, explanations. So say you want to look up ADHD. So look up ADHD Child Mind Institute. They have a great parent resource page on that. Or maybe you want to look up anxiety Child Mind Institute, great resources on that. Divorce, death, anything you can think of that might be something to do with the brain health. They'll have really, really good resources for you. On here, I put a link for confidence and self-esteem. So there's a great little short article with a lot of great pointers on what we've talked about today. So check it out. The next one is called The Optimistic Child, which is a book that was written by Martin Seligman. He's a psychologist, teacher, author. And so he focuses on positive psychology and well-being. And so he was actually the president of the American Psychological Association at one time. This book is an older one. I think it was maybe in the early 2000s it was written, written, but it's a great one on teaching optimism and the dangers of pessimistic thinking. So this is a great one. If you struggle with waking, like say you wake up in the morning and you're like always in a bad mood, or you're just angry, or you notice your kid is in a bad mood, um, this is a great one to read. It helps build resilience. It's another really good resource that I believe I read this one in college too, in one of my programs, but it's a great one. And I might have this one. If you know me personally, I might be able to let you borrow this one. I have a few of the ones I've talked about. So once you watch this, if you know me, if any of them sound good to you, let me know and I could definitely get it to you. But that Optimistic Child is a great one. And then finally, a book called Raising Good Humans. Now, I have not read this one. Let me find this. Okay. I've not read this one all the way. I really want to. I've been hearing about this book. So it is basically to help you stop being reactive whenever you're parenting, right? So it's more preventative. So what I mean by reactive would be like, and the example I shared yesterday, where Isaac didn't want to get dressed, right? So instead of reacting, we came up with a plan. So today it was a better morning, which it was. It was totally fine. He was ready to go. We didn't have any fighting because we prevented it yesterday by coming up with a plan. So this Raising Good Humans book helps with mindfulness, breaking that cycle of the reaction that you might have. This one's this one was written in 2020, but I have not read it all the way. I've just kept hearing about it and I've read excerpts of it. So if you have read it, let me know what you think, but I'm really interested in reading the whole thing. So I was going to actually download it on Audible. But yeah, this was my next resource I wanted to share with you. I think that was, the one other one I skipped it is the Common Sense Media. Common Sense Media is another one of my favorite websites. This website is really about anything media related. So say your child wants to watch a movie like Spider-Man or play Fortnite or watch a TV show like High School Musical or something, right? And you're not sure about if you want them to watch it or what you think it would be. This is a great one because it gives you their opinion, professional opinion, parent opinion, kid opinion. It gives you all the different opinions. So then you can read that, you get a synopsis, you find out what the good things are in it. You find out what things are a little touchy that they shouldn't watch, or maybe they're too little or too old, whatever. We do this all the time. So one of the reasons I like this is because it helps me set boundaries. I've been using this since my son was little. And so before he was 7, one of the big things for TV was that we could not watch anything. He couldn't watch anything that was Y7. He had to only watch things that were before Y7. And so once he got to 7, super excited because now he can watch Y7. So we always put very big boundaries when it comes to media. Another one is like Fortnite. So right now he is 9 and he's not allowed to play Fortnite, which is very, very frustrating to him. But he knows my boundary of it has to be the age of whatever the maker says it is. And I think it's 12 or maybe even 10. So he's getting close. I know Minecraft was one that was age 9. So literally this year was the first year that he played Minecraft. We do this with movies. If it's PG-13, he's not 13, so we don't watch it. Sometimes, depending on what the movie is, I might, and we'll watch it together. But I'm really big on boundaries when it comes to media. So Common Sense Media is the other one, and that's on this sheet as well. All right, so finally, I want you to take this past 3 days and do one of the things I've mentioned tonight, this weekend. Maybe it's reading one of the books I talked about, or listening to it on Audible, or looking up one of the websites, starting a journal, meditating, doing one of the grounding activities. I want you to do one of those things for you and your family. So that's your final homework for this challenge. And so the review of the last 3 days, we've talked about understanding your confidence. We have gone over what confidence is, and then finally what to do to create a confident home and to create confidence in your kids. I really, really hope this was helpful for you. Because I do feel like one of the things kids struggle with when they're in school is if they're not confident, kids are going to be mean. They're going to struggle academically. They're going to struggle socially. So making sure that you instill that in them it's important. And I hope I've given you enough resources where you have something you can work with now. All right, so I am doing family coaching. Very, very excited to be doing this now, along with my therapy still, but I'm really focused on this family coaching, and I can help you with your routines, with discipline. I worked in schools for years, and so I know the education route. I understand what kids struggle with there. I understand how to help you maneuver and navigate if you're having problems with that. Communication strategies. And I spelled that wrong. I just realized goals and expectations, and then whatever else that you need. I'm pretty good at getting all of that set up for you. I have individual coaching. I'm getting ready to start a group coaching, family group coaching class. So I would love for you to join that. And yeah, I guess that's it. I'm so glad that you were able to join me this past 3 days. Please reach out to me, share with your friends, let them know what I'm doing now and how I'm trying to help families become happy and healthier. I would love to just spread the word because we're in a tough time in our country, in our world. Things are very out of whack right now. And I want to help. And I feel like between my education and my experiences that I have been put here to help guide and help people and help families. So if there's anything else, just let me know. And I hope you guys have a great rest of the week. And we'll see you soon. Bye.